But when it comes to mental health, what's our kind of duty of care there? You know, if you're starting to notice maybe a change in behaviour or mood and that sort of stuff, you know, how do we approach that? Or what does this mean when it comes to mental health? What does duty of care mean?
I feel that we all have a duty of care to the people that are in our clubs. So, like we've said before, instigating that conversation will never be detrimental to that person's progress. So that would be my first advice. I'd also say that take that duty of care to the point that you feel comfortable. If you really don't feel comfortable having these conversations, you don't have to. Maybe introduce the topic to that person and then find out if there's someone that they would feel more comfortable speaking to. Like I said, especially with a young person, they may, if they're in the care of mental health services, have developed a safety plan. So they might have identified someone that they feel confident speaking to. So being aware of that information and knowing that next step for that young person is really important for you. But I think, again, the first instance is just having that conversation and going from there, really.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with Sophie there. I think that it's a tough one when you talk about duty of care, because you probably feel responsible in these situations. And in my environment, obviously, if you do deal with somebody with mental health concerns or issues, you do automatically feel under pressure that you didn't observe it. Maybe you didn't see the signs. Maybe you didn't recognize something. So there is a huge amount of pressure on coaches within that environment. But I think the important thing is what Sophie's just kind of reiterate to what Sophie's just said there is that you have to feel a duty of care like you would in any other environment. So like we said earlier about mental health, it's the same as a first aid situation, that you would step in if one of your players got injured. It's the same kind of situation for us in terms of the duty of care. The expectation is that person feels comfortable within your club, so then you should feel comfortable to manage that at that point. And like you said, if it starts to escalate to the point where you don't feel comfortable, if you've not had any mental health training or you don't feel that you're benefiting, then there are signposting opportunities for that within the club, whether that be internally or whether you then start to kind of escalate that further up the chain.